What if I told you that a 12-year-old company just proved you can beat a $40 billion giant by doing the exact opposite of what everyone expects? So I spent a couple of hours diving deep into Figma's journey from a $10 million startup to a $12.5 billion company. And what I discovered completely changed how I think about competing with various established players. So if you are building something while working full time, or if you're trying to figure out how to stand out in a crowded market, this is going to be huge for you. I'm Anya Obed, and every day I break down one successful company to find the strategies we can actually use in our own builds. And today, I'm happy to be sharing with you the story of Figma. And I dove into Figma because I believe they did something incredible. They didn't try to build a better Photoshop. They didn't even try to compete with Adobe directly. Instead, they created an entirely new category. And the results, they went from 8% market share to 57% in just 3 years. And here's exactly how they did it and what you and I can learn and begin to test in our own projects. To begin with, here's what caught my attention about Figma's strategy. Back in 2012, everyone was trying to build better design tools, more features, more power, more complexity. But Dylan Field and Evans Wallace looked at this differently. Those are the founders of Figma. They looked at it differently. They asked a simple question. What if the problem isn't that design tools needed more features, but the fact that they were too hard to be used together? And here's where it actually gets interesting, right? While Adobe was doubling down on desktop applications and individual productivity, Figma made a bet that seemed crazy at the time. They built everything in the web browser, real-time collaboration, and multiple people editing simultaneously. So everyone said it wouldn't work because browsers weren't powerful enough, designers wouldn't give up their desktop apps, and the performance would be terrible. But here's what they saw that others missed. The world was changing. Teams were becoming more distributed. Projects needed more stakeholders. And the biggest pain point wasn't missing features. It was the back and forth between designers, developers, and everyone else. I felt this personally. Like when I'm building something new, the hardest part isn't creating the design. It's usually getting feedback. It's explaining what I'm thinking. It's making sure that the team and all other stakeholders involved understand the vision and what I really want. And Figma solved this by making collaboration the core feature of their products and not just an add-on. And the timing was perfect for them. They launched right as remote work was becoming normal, right as web browsers got powerful enough, and right as teams got tired of emailing design files back and forth. And the results, they got 13 million monthly active users, $930 million in annual recurring revenue, and 78% of Fortune 2000 companies using their platform. But here's the part that blew my mind. Like 67% of their users aren't even designers. They are project managers, developers, marketers, people who just need to collaborate on design work. Adobe never saw this coming. They were focused on making better tools for designers. So they ended up missing the bigger opportunity, that is making design accessible to everyone. And as someone trying to build my own products, this completely shifted my thinking. I've been asking, how can I make my product better for my core users? That's the primary question I ask. But maybe the real question that I should be asking is, who else needs to be part of this process? And how can I make it easy for them to participate? So here's what I'm learning from Figma's approach and what I am testing. And I hope if you're watching this video, you begin to test in your own builds as well. One, the first strategy is that you have to compete on simplicity and not features. The data that stopped me in my tracks that 88% of users won't return after a poor experience, not missing features. Poor experience. Adobe had what they called Adobe SD that had more features. Sketch had more power, But Figma had something better. You could start using it in minutes, not weeks. They removed that friction. So instead of adding additional functionality, they removed the friction to using it. And I'm currently experimenting this right now in my own project, so that instead of asking what feature should I add next, I'm beginning to ask what's the biggest frustration for new users. Then let me remove any obstacle that prevents them from using it. Strategy number 2, design for multiple stakeholders from day one. This is huge. Figma didn't just build for designers, they built for everyone who needs to be part of the design process. Developers could inspect designs and grab code snippets. Project managers could leave comments. Clients could see updates in real time. 67% of Figma's revenue growth comes from non-designers. Think about that. They succeeded by expanding who uses design tools, not by building better design tools for existing users. And strategy number 3 is build network effect into your product. So here's what I found fascinating. Figma's free tier isn't just about user acquisition, it creates viral loops. When a designer shares a file, the viewer can see it, comment on it, even edit it without paying. But once they start using it regularly, they convert to paid plans. This is brilliant. The product spreads itself. And here's what I'm realizing, that Figma didn't win by being better at what Adobe was already doing. They won by changing the rules of what design tools should do. The question I'm asking myself now is, what rules in my space can I completely ignore? The biggest takeaway for me is this: don't build a better version of what already exists. Build what should exist instead. So if you are balancing a full-time job and a side project, here are 3 things that you can test this week. Number 1, list everyone who is affected by your product success, not just who pays for it. Then ask yourself, how can I create value for these other user groups? Number 2, find your biggest friction point for new users and remove it instead of adding new features. And number 3, do well to share your work before it's finished. Make your audience part of the creation process and not just the end result. I'm curious, what rules in your industry can you completely ignore? Tomorrow, I'm diving into another company and sharing all the insights with you right here on this channel. If you want to learn alongside me as I analyze one company every day, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if this changed how you think about competition, do well to give the video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions or any suggestions on startups that I should look into or analyze, go ahead and drop it in the comments. I respond to every one of the comments in there. I'm really grateful you took the time to spend this moment with me. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye for now.